Cars as a franchise is one of my most beloved of all time, and one of the many things I love about Cars is the expanded media. One of the best of expanded media is their video games. Now, for one of their video games that I don't think gets much attention is Cars Race-O-Rama, as it was the last of the, first of the original Cars games before the sequels came out. Now, with this one, something that I find very interesting are the, modifications and kind of the, skins and costumes that the game has, particularly for Lightning McQueen, as in this game, the whole gimmick, the whole selling point was that you could customize Lightning however you want. You can make him, in any version, but in terms of the story, he had specific, modifications for each track and for each competitor he was racing against. Now, for this, I'm going to cover all four of them, and I'm going to go from best to I'm going to go from worst to best. Of course, this is biased, so it is of my opinion. But if you want to tell me down below in the comments, I am welcome to, to hear your criticism or just however you feel. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
The thing about street fights, the street always wins.
At number 4, we have the Motoropolis one. Now, my thing is, even though it is at number 4, the last of them, it's not a complete wash, it's okay. But in terms of the rest of the, modification skins, it's not really up to par, in my opinion. Here, Lightning McQueen is supposed to be, this muscle car as he's going against Stinger. And in my opinion, it just feels kind of plain in my regards, as the black stripes and the, kind of toned down nature of Lightning here doesn't really scream Lightning McQueen. Lightning McQueen is big, he's bold, with his colors, he's flashy, and in here, I don't really get that sense of his character in this, and I think, he's going for more of a, cool, super, cool guy, but here, it just feels pretty basic. I will say, I do like the engine, on the hood of the car. The spoiler is a bit too low for me, so I don't really like that. In general, though, I'm just not a fan of it. But like I said, it's not horrible by any means. It's not like the worst that Lightning has ever looked, but still.
What's the matter? You guys give it up? Ah!
At number 3, we have Off-Road Lightning McQueen. Now, honestly, I think I have to say, this has to be my favorite of the Off-Road Lightning McQueen variants, as in going along with, other costumes that he's worn, similar to his 500.5, skin, this one is spectacular. The thing that really strikes me, is the lightning bolt of how it really looks kind of just like an off-road, cool thing. It looks amazing. Along with that, the tires, the lights on the top, all of it looks genuinely amazing. If I'm being serious, I think that this really, really is his best off-road design by a long shot.
Let's go to the beach, let's go get away.
At number 2, we have his Santa Carbera skin. I think I said that. I think I said the place right. I really hope I do. I think this one is very close to being number 1. And no, not really. I'm sorry, that was a lie. The number 1 is far above the rest. But I will say I do appreciate the yellow and orange on the body. I think it's very nice. Even though there isn't really a spoiler, I think that kind of puts it down a little bit, and I know, been hearing throughout this whole video, oh, the spoiler this, spoiler that, but to me, Lightning McQueen's spoiler really does make or break a lot of his designs and, paint jobs. And in here, even though I wish he would have it, it's still not that big of a deal. I feel like the 95 on the body, on the sides, I feel like they kind of just gave up and didn't really know what to do there for that. So that also is kind of a downgrade for me, but the hood is where it really makes up, because the lightning bolt on top and the engine there, ooh, it is spectacular. It looks great. Now, before we get to number 1, I just want to give an honorable mention to Chick Hicks, as at the end of the game, Lightning and Chick have a final, duel, and Chick has his own modified, custom racer outfit, and he, absolutely incredible. It is my favorite skin of him of all time. He, even though this is technically canon, loose canon, I think that this is his best design by a freaking long shot. I'm being so serious here. He looks incredible. But with that, let's get to number 1, and I think we all know which one it's gonna be.
I shouldn't have to put up with this. I'm a precision instrument of speed and aerodynamics.
You hurt your what?
Speedway Lightning McQueen is great. It is by far his best design, and I don't mean best design for this game. I think I could argue, if I actually thought about it, given time, that this would be Lightning McQueen's best design in all time. The lightning bolt looks absolutely amazing. Even though it is simplified, I think it's simplified for the best degree. Like, I like how small it is, like I like the 95, and just the modifications around the whole car, especially the front with his mouth and all that. It looks incredible. This looks like a car for speed and aerodynamics. I'm telling you, like, this Speedway car, like Lightning McQueen in this look, like, he is the best. I don't know how to describe what I mean by how he looks the best, but it really is. But with that, thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you think, if you played the game or if you haven't, or just anything like that. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I really hope you do know there is more to you than meets the eye.